Hello everybody, my name is Colin and I'm leading the TFDi Design MD-11 project. I just wanted to take a minute to show off our current status, talk about the milestone we hit recently, go over what some of the next steps are going to be, and of course show off some of the new things we've added, as it has been quite some time since we've done one of these videos. Starting right at the top of the list, we recently hit what we consider the feature complete milestone, and I want to take a minute to explain what that is. Up till this point, we have had our own internal list of things that we know the plane needed to have, whether they come from the FCOM, come from documents that QA have sent us, feedback from the QA team, mechanics, pilots, or just things that we know it needed to have based on the market standards. That list is now complete for us. There are certainly some minor things that aren't there yet, some little alerts in the MCDU that don't pop up quite at the right time, or small flags on the PFD that may not be there, little things like that that will get added, but it is currently behaving like an MD-11. Now, what that means going forward is we're going to focus almost entirely on the list of items on our bugs repository. Some of them are suggestions, which is where we come back to the small features being added. Some of them are things that are missing or broken, but from this point forward, that is now our to-do list. That's the key difference between before feature complete and going here forward. Now, I'm going to show off some of the things that we have added since the last build, so I'll go ahead and start up the plane here. I haven't moved the camera yet since we started talking, but we are in sim here. We have a lot of new stuff, especially in the EFB to show off, but we'll start getting everything running.
Altitude.
All right. So the displays did start up pretty fast. Again, little things like that we can tweak, but if you caught it a little bit, they were starting to fade in. We do have kind of a simulation of the warm-up system. It's not exactly how the real CRTs warm up, but it's something to give that feeling of them not just instantly turning on full brightness. Anyway, we'll get the IRS moving here. Actually, we'll show off some EFB things. We've added a lot of settings. This plane does have a lot of settings. So going quickly through, I'm not going to go through every setting now, not what everyone means at least. We'll have other videos over the coming weeks and beyond that will detail some of the systems in a lot more detail than I'm going to go into today. But we're going to go into here and make sure that the IRS can align instantly because I don't want to wait 10 minutes. All right, now our IRS is aligned. So we'll start with the EFB, the new features here. Since we have a blank cockpit, we just started up. We have SimBrief import now. For a while, you've been able to look at your flight plan in here, but then you still have to manually type everything in. You no longer have to do that. Now, I'll send that to the flight plan. Now I have Orlando to Memphis loaded up. I've got all my route entered here. And much like the real plane, we do not load the SIDs and stars for you, as A, they tend to change and they're runway dependent, and B, the likelihood of error would be much higher there. But it does save you a lot of time, especially on those transcontinental flights where you'd be entering a lot of nav tracks and pages and pages of waypoints. Now it's instant. You can also set your fuel and payload right away, and as you probably saw from the plane lurch down a little bit, it is still loaded instantly, but it is done correctly now, and our CG is no longer insane. Our CE customers, I'm sure, have commented on that. So if we go to our init page here, we have the weight and balance system enabled. We can click these, get them from the sensors, fill them in. And this is just showing that the flight planning process has become in line with what you come to expect from top-tier add-ons. It's also a lot smoother than it was earlier on in the process. This is one of the things we added recently in Feature Complete, the whole importing system. Now, moving right along to other EFB pre-flight features that we've added, we have our performance. Got to give Fabio and Giorgio credit for this. They both put in a lot of work making the system work the way that it does. So here we'll put in our departure airport. We'll get our wind information, fill it right out for you. If I don't know my takeoff weight, I can just get it. If you've entered it into the FMC, you'll get the number from there. Otherwise, it'll just pull your current values. You can calculate it. This will give us our optimum flex, flaps, and our V-speeds. Currently, these numbers could use a little bit of review. They are based on thousands of data points from the real airplane. Once again, credit to the Fighting Raven in our Discord. If you've seen him, he's been adding a lot of information to that list of data for me to process. So now this system goes through all those and does all the calculations you would have previously had to do by hand or just wing it. Gives you the optimal numbers, and they'll only get better as we move on. Anyway, continuing right along, we We've added a lot of other minor features, way too many to count. Our change logs are in the hundreds now from the last couple of updates, but some obvious things.
Overspeed.
We have the rest of the alerts in the call system that haven't been seen before. The little details on the FCP work correctly now. The 8s and the extra symbols and all that. The night lighting is working, including the backlighting on the FCP as well. The little details that start to make it feel a lot more polished and feel like an MD-11 are there. We've also added polar mode. We've added support for step climbs. We've added support for a lot of the more advanced FMC features, such as the descent and climb forecasting, which I'll show here. You can enter winds and whatnot. Oh, yep, that's not exactly what I was expecting it to look like. But this is my point. This is why we're at feature complete and not exactly done yet, because things like this still happen. Now we're going to fix that. We're going to fix a lot of these little details that have been in that bugs repository, and as we move forward, we'll see that list getting shorter and shorter. Now, speaking about those sorts of issues, there are some changes coming to the visual items as well. As you can tell by the fact that this light has been on since before I had power. There have been some articles recently that showed off some exterior issues that were addressed already in previous dev builds that just haven't made it out to the public yet. This is still very much a work in progress. Up till this point, we focused, like I said, on adding new things. Now we're focusing on fixing. The point of this is, as always, to be transparent with our pre-sale customers, with our collector's edition customers, and with everybody following us, which is why I'm leaving something like what we just saw in this video. As always, we appreciate the support. So, now, going forward, what can we expect as far as updates and a potential release timeline? We won't give an exact date, as that has proven to be ineffective in the past, number one, and number two, we don't want to let anybody down. What we're currently doing is we're working as fast as we can to close the bugs out, and by the day. The list should be getting shorter and will be getting shorter by the day. Now, whether that's 2 weeks, 6 weeks, more or less, I can't guarantee, but I can say that we are doing everything that we can to make it a near future and not a long-term future release. With that said, as always, software is unpredictable, but we're doing everything that we can, and I'm confident that everyone will be happy with the progress. That's all from me from right now. Like I said, stay tuned. We'll have more detailed videos coming soon about other systems. Thank you for your attention. Thanks for watching. We can't wait to see you flying the plane soon.